All right, let's talk about the bench press. Are you tired of being stuck under that same weight week after week? Well, you've come to the right place. Today, we are going to build the ultimate science-backed protocol designed to absolutely shatter your plateau and unlock some serious new strength.
So, why has your bench stalled? If you've hit that wall and your numbers just aren't moving, trust me, you are not alone. It's one of the most common frustrations in the gym. But today, we're going to give you the evidence-based blueprint to smash right through that barrier. Let's break down exactly how we're going to get you there.
All right, here's our game plan. We're going to build this thing like a pyramid, starting with the most important part, the foundation, recovery. Then we'll move up to mastering technique, adding some advanced training protocols, fueling it all with the right supplements, and finally, putting it all together. Simple, right? Let's go.
All right, Section 1, the foundation of recovery. And we're starting with the power of sleep. Seriously, before we even think about touching a barbell, we have to talk about the single most overlooked and honestly the most critical part of getting strong.
So check this out. A massive study, we're talking over 23,000 adults, found that almost 20% of people, that's 1 in 5, are basically sabotaging their own gains before they even walk into the gym. Why? Because they're reporting poor or very poor sleep quality. And that, my friends, is a huge roadblock to recovery and growth. But here's where it gets really interesting. Look at this data. It shows that just doing any kind of strength training is linked to a dramatically lower chance of having that poor sleep. For the people who reported very poor sleep, we're talking a 43% lower prevalence. It's a two-way street, right? Lifting helps you sleep better, and that better sleep is what helps you lift heavier. It's a perfect cycle. So let's just be crystal clear about this. Recovery isn't optional. It is the absolute bedrock that all your strength is built on. If you're not sleeping, you are just not recovering. Period. You are leaving massive, massive gains on the table. This isn't some nice-to-have suggestion. It is the non-negotiable foundation of our entire pyramid. Okay, so now that our foundation is rock solid, it's time to move up the pyramid. Section 2, Mastering Perfect Technique. Let's get into the blueprint for a flawless lift. First up, let's talk about range of motion, or ROM for short. It's the full movement of a joint from all the way stretched to all the way contracted. Now, there's a lot of debate out there about this one, but you know what? The science is actually surprisingly clear. So, a 10-week study looked at this in resistance-trained guys, and what did they find? The group that trained with a full range of motion got way stronger. Not only that, but they had better neuromuscular adaptations. That's a fancy way of saying the connection between your brain and your muscles got stronger. So the bottom line, if you want to get the most out of this lift, you have got to use the full range of motion. No shortcuts. Now, perfect technique, it actually starts before you even unrack the bar. There are 3 pillars to a powerful setup. First, retract your scapula. That means pinching your shoulder blades together and pulling them down. Second, set your grip, usually about 1.5 to 2 times your shoulder width. And third, engage that leg drive. Get your feet firm on the floor and think about pushing the ground away. This creates a solid base. Okay, check this out. This is so important. The path of the barbell. A beginner, well, they just push the bar straight up and down. It's inefficient. But an advanced lifter, they use what's called the inverted J path. It's a slight curve, and they do it for a very, very good reason. So what is this inverted J all about? Well, by pushing the bar back toward your head just a little before you go straight up, you move the bar closer to your shoulder joint. This gives you way better leverage. It allows you to apply maximum force right at that dreaded sticking point, the spot where most people fail their lifts. It's a tiny change in the bar path, but it makes a massive difference in how much power you can generate. All right, so we have the foundation, we have the blueprint for a perfect rep. Now, it's time to install the engine. Section 3, Advanced Training Protocols. This is where we force your body to adapt and get stronger. And this protocol? It gets results. Take a look at this quote from a user on Reddit. This guy's bench was stuck in the 290s for almost a year. A whole year. Then he tried this protocol and said he made more progress in 37 days than in the entire year before. That's what I'm talking about. So what is this magic protocol? Well, it's called a high-frequency protocol. And man, it is intense. For 35 days straight, you bench. Every day. You work up to a daily 1-rep max attempt, then you follow it up with some heavy back offsets, like 5x3s at 85%. Then, on day 36, you rest. And on day 37, you test your new max. It's all about forcing adaptation through insane frequency.
There's actually a cool kind of unexpected benefit to this. For lifters who use a big arch, spending less time under the bar for each set because you're doing low reps can actually reduce low back fatigue. So you get stronger on the bench and your back feels better. It's a win-win.
Okay, our engine is roaring. Now we need to talk about the fuel. Section 4, the science of supplementation. And listen, when it comes to supplements, we got to be smart and separate the marketing hype from the actual hard evidence.
So let's kick things off with a big one, HMB. Is it a wonder supplement or just a waste of money? HMB, or beta-hydroxy-beta-methylbutyrate if you want to get fancy, is one of the most debated supplements out there for strength, and the research, well, it's all over the place.
Just look at this. On one side, you have a study like Nissen from '96 that found a 55% greater increase in bench press strength. 55%. But then, you have studies like Kreider and Slater on experienced athletes that found nothing. No significant effect on strength at all. So what in the world is going on here?
Well, it really seems to come down to one thing, your training status. HMB seems to be most effective for untrained people or for experienced lifters who are introducing a totally new, really intense training style. In other words, when the muscle damage is high. So for someone starting that crazy 37-day protocol we just talked about, HMB might actually help. But for an experienced lifter who's just doing their normal routine, the effect pretty much disappears.
So if you want to skip the HMB debate and just stick with the proven performers, there are two you can't go wrong with. First, creatine monohydrate, 5 grams a day. It is the most studied, most validated supplement for strength and performance, period. Second, caffeine. 200 to 400 milligrams before you work out is a proven way to boost performance and focus. Just maybe don't take it too late in the day, right? We don't want to mess up that sleep foundation we built.
Okay, we've done it. We've laid the foundation, we've drawn the blueprint, we've installed the engine, and we've added the fuel. So for our final section, let's put it all together and build your ultimate bench.
So here it is, the pyramid of power. It all starts with the foundation. Prioritize that quality sleep for recovery. Step 2, the blueprint. Master a full range of motion and that inverted J bar path. Step 3 is the engine. Implement a high-frequency protocol to really drive adaptation. And finally, step 4, the fuel. Use proven supplements like creatine and caffeine, and maybe consider HMB if and only if your training is new and super intense. This is the complete system. You can't skip a step.
So the real question is this: are you building your strength on a solid pyramid, or is one of your layers missing? We've given you the complete science-backed framework. The only thing left to do is for you to apply it with consistency and intensity. That's how you build your strongest bench ever.
Remember, science is constantly evolving. To make sure you don't miss the next scientific analysis and protocol, don't forget to turn on notifications and subscribe. See you in the next video, and let's meet in the comments. What topic should we break down next?